You all thought the BET Awards were just about music and red carpets. Okay. But last night it became a full-blown as Claressa Shields took the mic, smirked, rubbed her stomach, and said, "I'm pregnant. And yes, it's Papoose's." The crowd froze, the stage lights dimmed, and Remy Ma collapsed like her knees gave out, gone dropping like a Wi-Fi signal in the Bronx. But the damage was already done. For 1 second, it was an award show, and then it was a live episode of Mai, and Papoose stood there as if someone had unplugged his soul. Easy. The block captain was already a ghost, and 50 Cent posted popcorn eyes like that. He wrote the script, and let's not forget that this wasn't Claressa's first knockout. But this one left Remy flat, the internet in flames, and bet producers crying backstage. You want to know what really happened? Because, baby, this was just the beginning. Let's go back and start at the beginning, because this wasn't just a chance moment at the BET Awards. It was months in the making. It was a slow-cooked mess seasoned with tension, ego, and silent betrayal. The audience had no idea what was going on beneath the surface when Claressa Shields appeared that evening. Claressa wasn't there merely to applaud rappers. She had something to say, and baby, she didn't stutter. However, comprehend how we even reached this onstage bombshell. We must examine this simmering triangle that has been simmering for months between Claressa, Papoose, and Remy Ma. A year ago, when they were thought to be the last surviving hip-hop couple, they withstood imprisonment, public cheating rumors, awkward interviews, and even Eazy's thirsty Instagram lives. In the midst of all of this, they continued to give their fans that ride-or-die energy. But behind closed doors, things were falling apart. Rumors of Remy's alleged affair with Eazy weren't just barbershop talk. They made headlines. Few weeks, Claressa Shields, wearing matching black suits and sharing awkward giggles, caused the internet to go from curious to chaotic. At first, people thought Claressa was just a family friend that Papoose was mentoring on the business side. But they didn't buy it. Why was Eazy suddenly quiet after being the loudest person in the room for months? The BET Awards were supposed to be a night of music, unity, and celebration, but the real show wasn't scheduled. Instead, it was hidden in the front row, waiting. To blow up, as the cameras rolled, a presenter introduced Claressa for a brief shout-out segment about honoring women in sports. Nothing controversial, nothing explosive. Until she took the mic, paused, and without flinching, dropped a 7-word sentence that shook the building. "I'm pregnant, and yes, it's Papoose's." The audience looked at each other as if someone had pressed mute on the entire theater. Papoose, sitting just off stage, looked stunned. Not shocked, but stunned. Like a man who knew this announcement was coming, but not like this. To make matters worse, the camera panned, and there she was, Remy Ma, in a red floor-length gown. Her eyes wide, her lips parted, and for a moment, it seemed as though she might get up and leave. Collapsed and slumped forward as if all the air had been knocked out of her. Viewers of the live stream claimed that the shot cut to commercial quickly, but audience cell phones continued to roll. One fan's TikTok clip showed Remy being helped out of her seat and carried backstage, barely conscious. The video has received over 8 million views. To be clear, this wasn't the first time Claressa had shaken up a stage, but never like this. According to an anonymous source close to BET Production, the network was unaware that she would say that. And security had already been instructed to watch her because she appeared emotionally tense backstage. She had been pacing, whispering into her phone and repeating, "I'm done hiding." Another insider said she was crying in her dressing room an hour before she went on stage. After the moment aired, Papoose reportedly left the theater through a side door with 2 BET handlers and didn't return. Some fans say he was spotted at a nearby hotel bar just 45 minutes later, sipping something dark and alone. No Claressa. No Remy, just him staring at his phone. Still others maintain he had been spending more time with Claressa long before this reveal, and that the baby news was just Remy's karma returning the favor for her own entanglements. However, that begs, The uncomfortable question, is this really about love or is it retaliation? Was Claressa simply fed up with being referred to as the side chick by trolls on social media? Or was this a power move to take over the spotlight that Ray has held for years? Why now? The BET Awards are known for their drama, but this felt personal. Unstaged, unplanned, and dripping with unfiltered energy. Even 50 Cent commented on Twitter but later removed the post, saying, "Told y'all these rap marriages don't last. Should have bet on Shields." Caught her whispering something to her assistant. Lip readers online said, "She stole everything from me." Others said, "He lied to me the whole time." Whatever it was, she was done. There were no interviews or statements, just silence. Claressa was seen backstage grinning, one hand on her stomach, the other holding her BT gassed pass like a trophy. Her team declined requests for comment. But later that evening, they posted a mysterious story with the caption, "Strong enough to speak, stronger to carry." Easy. The block captain was not present during all of this. He was sitting near the back, but he left immediately after the announcement. There were no pictures or reactions, and it didn't help that earlier that week, Remy denied any connection to him in a tense Instagram live, saying, "That chapter is done. I've got bigger things to focus on." I guess she didn't realize how big it was. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, a bet revealed text messages between Claressa and a trusted friend in which she acknowledged that the reveal was her moment, and that she had waited too long to be silent. The same leak also claimed that Claressa had been planning the announcement for more than a month, but hadn't told Papoose when she would make it. That's right. Even he didn't know the stage would become her maternity mic drop, but nobody anticipated what would happen next. A new wave of chaos struck shortly after Claressa's 7-word bomb exploded across the BET Awards stage, with Remy being carried out like a defeated champion. This time, the chaos came in the form of leaked backstage security footage. No, it wasn't shaky crowd cam footage, but clear, multi-angle surveillance footage directly from the venue's own system, and in that footage, which somehow found its way to a gossip blog just an hour after the show concluded, you could clearly see Remy Ma attempting to confront Claressa backstage with a barefoot, makeup-smeared dress twisted at the hip. While there was no actual brawl captured on that camera angle, a zoomed-in shot nevertheless showed what appeared to be a half-phrased slap from Rhee's left hand before being intercepted by a staff member. By morning, that clip was all over the internet, with one headline reading, "Remy snaps after baby reveal." And while all of this was going on, let's not forget the players who were still out of the spotlight, Papoose and Easy the Block captain. Both men were now being pulled into a tornado of drama for different reasons. Papoose was accused of emotionally abandoning Remy a long time ago, and Easy was accused of being the original cause of that abandonment. Fans bombarded Papoose's last Instagram post with comments like, "You did Remy dirty." Claressa wasn't an upgrade, bro, but Papoose remained silent, receiving no likes, replies, or even a story repost. Easy wasn't about to let the internet change the course of his burner account, though, and he posted a cryptic message that was interpreted as a jab at Papoose for allowing a woman to fight his battles or carry his legacy. Then came the alleged hospital record leak. A Twitter user, posing as a nurse at a renowned women's clinic in Jersey, posted a blurry screenshot of what appeared to be Claressa's patient record. The name was mostly blacked out, but users zoomed in, inverted the colors, enhanced the contrast, and all but swore it was hers. The date of the visit was 2 weeks before the BET Awards. The reason was prenatal consultation. The notes estimated 9 weeks along. No one could confirm if it was legitimate, but did that matter? Some of Claressa's own fans weren't happy with the stunt, saying she should have handled it like a champ, not a child. However, her team, probably coached, released a brief statement the following morning that simply read, "The truth is never convenient but always necessary, cold, calculated, and viral." Meanwhile, rumors started to circulate among industry insiders about what happened before the incident. They said that Claressa had every right to claim her moment and expose the truth, especially if Papoose had been gaslighting her in private. Remy Ma was tense and clearly uncomfortable during rehearsals, according to one stylist who posted anonymously, and she kept checking her phone while pacing. Someone allegedly overheard her on a call, whispering she better not pull anything tonight, as if Remy already knew something was brewing. Another person claimed Claressa was seen speaking with Bet segment producers alone, which was unusual since all presenter-related details go through team representatives. Did she plan the reveal without telling them what she was going to say? Is Bet complicit? Or was she completely taken by surprise? One thing we do know by that evening, sponsors were withdrawing the luxury brand that had given Remy when Red Carpet Dress announced that they were re-evaluating future partnerships. Bet went into full panic mode and started removing any unapproved video footage from social media and issuing copyright takedowns. However, the internet was already ahead. Clips were screen recorded, downloaded, stitched, and reposted on burner accounts. The more they tried to hide it, the more viral it became. And as if all of that wasn't messy enough, the anonymous source CS, with a capital A and S, leaked a voice recording to a celebrity podcast in which a muffled, disguised voice claimed to be very close to the family and said that Papoose wasn't even surprised by the pregnancy. They claimed that he had known for weeks and had allegedly tried to get Claressa. The voice also stated that Papoose and Claressa had already signed a non-disclosure agreement in case things became too public. But, despite the chaos and the noise, Claressa wasn't hiding anything. The following morning, she shared a glowing selfie on Instagram with the caption, "I said what I said." She was wearing a bathrobe with no makeup or filters, and the best trophy was still on her dresser in the background. The comment section was half supportive and half dragging, and everyone was captivated. People couldn't stop watching, and that's when the story took its next twist, because just as it appeared that things might calm down, a second, even more explosive video appeared from the left side of the stage. This angle was not seen in any live stream, and it showed Remy Ma getting up and attempting to rush Claressa as she left the stage following the announcement. It wasn't a run, but rather a quick emotional stumble, and Claressa didn't even look back. Security stepped in, hands raised, and what appeared to be a purse hit the floor. The feed then cut to the second video, which was watermarked with the words "backstage, eyes only," and a timestamp that matched the BET Awards broadcast. At this point, the question began to shift from why she did it to who allowed this leak. Was Bet a rogue? If there's one thing we've learned, it's that scandals like these aren't random. They're precision-cut explosions that are planned, planted, and timed to perfection. And just when it seemed like everyone on the internet had taken sides and the story couldn't get any worse, BT released a statement that shocked everyone. Bet released a statement, and it wasn't the safe, sugar-coated, legally filtered message people were expecting, but rather a brutally brief post on their official account that read, "We do not condone unsanctioned personal announcements during live broadcasts. Internal review, more to come." The internet went crazy. Did they intend to ban Claressa for suing her censor and future presenters? Or was it a coded way of admitting they knew something was going to happen and let it happen anyhow? Fans began to dig. Some claimed that a leaked schedule from the Bet showrunners showed a surprise celebrity segment right before the next musical performance. That segment was labeled simply CS Statement. People immediately took that to mean Claressa had actually gotten Bet approval for the mic time, meaning this wasn't a sabotage but rather an inside job. Theories went viral. On day 2, Claressa Shield had gone from boxing champion to full-fledged tabloid headline queen. Morning shows debated the ethics of her reveal. A podcast broke down the footage frame by frame like it was a crime scene. Legal analysts weighed in, wondering whether Remy's mother might have grounds for an emotional distress lawsuit. The backstage altercation escalated further. One fictitious legal expert even appeared on a fictitious daytime court segment, claiming Clarissa's statement was purposely damaging public exposure, comparing it to defamation as a result. As for Remy Ma, she still hadn't spoken. No tweets, no posts, no appearances, but the silence only made the rumors louder. Meanwhile, Papoose was seen for the first time since the announcement walking out of a New Jersey lounge, hoodie up, head down. A TMZ-style paparazzi video captured a few seconds of him being asked, "Is it true you are really the father?" He didn't respond, just got in a black SUV and left. But the look on his face haunted me like a man who lost more than control. Then came the brand deals. One after another, endorsements began reacting. A jewelry company that had worked with Remy Ma posted a cryptic message: "We support healing, not hostility." Another viral mashup showed Remy in a variety of public appearances over the past year, where she seemed distant from Papoose, not holding his hand, not smiling in sync, and not finishing his sentences as she used to. People began saying she knew, but she just didn't want us to know she knew. Even radio hosts picked it up and ran entire shows on the psychology of betrayal and whether public figures should be allowed to have private breakdowns. A coincidence or a calculated move to ride the wave while the fire was still burning? A. Maternity, where brands celebrating strong women and new beginnings, was the subject of a third video leak, which was by far the most shocking. The 14-second clip featured a close-up view from a side stage camera, grainy but real, and in it, Claressa could be seen talking to Papoose just before she went on stage. She wasn't nervous or emotional. Instead, she was smiling calmly and focused. She said something to him without recording, then lightly tapped his chest before entering the spotlight. Viewers lip-reacted to the moment and swore. Until that point, some had portrayed Claressa as emotional, impulsive, and overwhelmed. However, it now appeared to be a premeditated, coldly calculated takedown of Remy and the entire Papoose Remy mythos, the perfect love story destroyed by a single sentence on live TV. Finally, Remy Ma broke her silence late on the third night. When she went live on Instagram for just over 6 minutes, there was no music, no intro, just her sitting on her living room couch in a hoodie, no makeup, and her eyes red. She didn't say much, didn't scream or cry. She just stared into the Cameron said, "I spent years rebuilding myself only to have someone else use my pain as their announcement. This isn't about any baby. It is about humiliation, and believe me, I'm not done." She ended the live stream without any Q&A or follow-up, which was enough to spark a firestorm of comments. She's coming for retribution, and now sis is allegedly leaking the receipts and the texts she did because just hours later, screenshots of flirtatious, suggestive, and allegedly dated texts between Claressa and a mystery man not Papoose surfaced. The captions said, "Don't worry, it's not his," but the truth didn't matter. The idea was enough, and now everyone was wondering if the pregnancy announcement was real, if Papoose was the father, or if by day 4, Claressa had fully divided public opinion into two camps, Team Remy and Team Claressa. Entire Twitter accounts were devoted to analyzing old lyrics, comparing outfit choices, and drawing connections where none existed. Memes were all over the place, and videos of Remy walking out of frame while Claressa was glowing on stage became daily reposts. Influencers began using the controversy in their content, including makeup tutorials inspired by the Remy breakdown look and reaction videos called "Claressa's Baby Reveal Got Me Shaking." Just when you thought we had reached the height of absurdity, Bed himself released a teaser trailer for an unscripted Behind the Mic, an upcoming documentary series that will show behind-the-scenes moments from the awards. Includes a brief clip of Claressa smiling and winking at the camera before the show. Fans were accusing the entire network of staging the drama for views, and 50 Cent couldn't help himself. He posted another story saying, "I told y'all, she ain't miss, and Remy ain't. Forgive." At this point, legal action was being openly discussed. Rumors circulated that Ree's team was getting ready to send cease and desist letters to blogs spreading false pregnancy claims, and that Claressa's legal representatives allegedly contacted Bet to demand that they stop using her backstage footage of Papoose going forward. Still silent, but people close to his camp say he's been staying at a friend's studio loft, refusing interviews and trying to work things out privately. So what happens now? Will Claressa step up and take over her moment on the press tour? Well, Remy returns stronger than ever, reclaiming the fame she created from nothing. Will Papoose finally speak up and show where his loyalty truly lies? The internet doesn't know, but it's watching compulsively. And in a time when receipts are more important than reality, one thing is crystal clear. Once the footage leaks, the story never dies. Prescribed loyalty is now concealed behind silence as the world picks sides. Is Claressa a villain or a woman claiming what was always hers? Is Remy the victim or merely reaping what she once sowed? Is Papoose the mastermind behind it all, or just a confused king in a collapsing empire? He may never know the whole story, but one thing is certain: the footage is out. The secrets are loose, and the internet is unforgiving. So we'll now let you decide whether Claressa was wrong to use that moment to announce her pregnancy. Should Bet bar her from making any more appearances? More importantly, is Remy Mahar truly planning to make a comeback? Leave your thoughts in the comments section without any filters or nonsense. Own theory, share it, and you might be the next source to blow this thing wide open. If you're a sucker for messy celebrity scandals that seem too real to be true, hit the like button and subscribe. Also, remember to enable notifications because, baby, this story is far from over. There will be more leaked footage and twisted truths only here, where we always spill the beans first. Stay messy until the next breakdown.